viewers. Remember when I said that Battle of the Bone was Northern Ireland's first zombie movie? Well, I was wrong!
Amazing, isn't it? I can be wrong about things. I am thankful to be told I'm wrong so I can set the record straight. And me executing you shortly after I find out has almost nothing to do with it. I mean, next, someone will come in to tell me that I accidentally called Magwild Elizabeth rather than Gillian in episode 1 of my Bone Kickers reviews. I really hope that no one comes in and tells me that I was wrong about that. Not that it'd be a massive deal or anything. I mean, I'm only God. I only created everything that you're looking at right now. Assuming you're looking at the screen. It wouldn't be the end of the world or anything. I said, I hope that no one comes to tell me when I'm wrong about something. Oh, fuck it, skip to the end. When I'm wrong, I'd appreciate being corrected.
Yes, mistress!
Now have sex with the dead body. So yeah, I was wrong. This is apparently Northern Ireland's first zombie movie. Zombie Genocide. And frankly, from looking at these clips, I'm expecting little to no kung fu in it. Have I been wrong so far?
I don't think so.
Good. This is from 1996. It didn't get an actual release, so as far as I can tell, the only place you can find it is in pieces on the director's YouTube account. So, some clever host of an internet review show, in between boiling alien gladiators, stitched it together to make a review. The film opens with a dedication to a dead loved one. I don't want to shit on the sentiment, but if you do die, would you want your dedication to be in a movie where the dead come back to life and try to eat their loved ones?
Actually, that sounds pretty cool. Good work, director.
The first shot is a graveyard. Subtlety was chased by the RUC and ran over the border. If you don't understand that reference, you're probably not supposed to. Within literally 40 seconds of the film starting, and before we've even seen a person, we see a zombie's hand breaking from the cold embrace of the damp autumn soil. I suppose if you somehow missed the title, this could be useful for the spectacularly stupid 0.00007% of the audience who thought they were watching Hidalgo. While we're watching the credits, time passes. A whole week, in fact. Time flies when you're having fun, and watching these credits was a lot of fun indeed. Of course, with the zombie hand and the week-long time jump, you'd assume we'd come back to the film in the middle of some sort of, I don't know, zombie-based genocide? But no, things seem to be going pretty much as usual at the campsite.
Steve! Steve!
Is that lazy bastard that up here?
Really good.
Steve, get up, Lucky. Come on, Doc's got a ship in the hospital. One, two, three.
Steve!
No! I reign and veto and rule the earth! Be gone, you pitiful hackman!
So, does anyone want a synthy cat putting away montage?
Practically the whole score sounds like a very, very dated ringtone. I suggest turning your phone off before you watch the film, or at least get a better ringtone first. Anyway, the montagey goodness is cut way too short by a zombie. Apparently they were loud enough to literally wake the dead. Now I've seen some bizarre shot choices in my time. Hell, I've made a few bizarre shot choices in my time. But this just about wins. They're talking about the next time they can go camping while the audio sometimes vanishes, when suddenly this. What do you call this? A bike point of view shot with a thing for 1990s Northern Irish man-ass? Yeah, that's the most rational explanation. And apparently bike riding is the most exciting thing that a film with zombies, which was filmed in a place with easy access to actual terrorists and military, could find to film. Oh wait, there's a dead body. That's not an extra, they just litter the streets of Northern Ireland. The soundtrack choice is a little bit weird. It sounds like there's a Vogon destructor fleet hanging around just off screen. Listen.
Your attention, please.
Unfortunately for them, there are no Vogons, as this is not the best adaptation of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Is that a zombie? If so...
How the fuck did they get up there?
Oh no, it's just a dead body. You know, he really should have noticed that guy up there before he stopped his bike. Anyway, the week-old dead body bleeds on the guy, as they're well known for doing, and it's zombie time. Now, seconds later, I honestly can't tell if the shot's blurry or if the alleyway just looks like that. We follow the guy as he gets into his garden and goes indoors. We follow every single fucking step, because if we didn't, we would have naturally assumed he turned into a French showgirl between shots. Across town, 2 of the campers have got home, but because of the way it's shot, it looks like it's one guy sitting alone talking to his computer.
What do you think of that game there?
Very good. Graphics are very good.
Yeah.
Bit hard though. Wait there.
It's pretty good two-player games, like.
There's been a zombie epidemic for a week, and what's your usual Northern Irish guy up to? Playing video games. But to be fair, that's more of a guy joke than a Northern Ireland joke. And by joke, I mean derivative and generic comment. The area has a severe lack of chaos going on for being in the middle of a zombie genocide. But, to be fair, Northern Ireland used to be fairly famous for its groups of people who walk slowly en masse and get shot by soldiers. So maybe the film thinks everyone's a zombie already.
Peter! Peter! Stephen! Stephen, get down here, quick!
Across town, one of the guys finds a letter, which turns into a cassette tape which helpfully explains what's happened in the last week. All about the zombies, how there was an evacuation, etc. But it doesn't explain why they didn't notice what was going on. I don't care what the film thinks, they were camping in a fucking park. They should have noticed. Northern Ireland doesn't have enough wilderness to keep you ignorant of a zombie apocalypse for a fucking week. And this doesn't even come close to answering the biggest question of all.
Doc, this is Frank at the complex. I haven't got much time. As soon as your listeners get the hell out of town, the whole place is being evacuated. We're not supposed to give any of this up, but there's some kind of epidemic of violence in town. People are going crazy, running around biting each other.
Was that a Northern Irish person doing a bad American accent, or an American doing a bad Northern Irish accent, or possibly was it a Northern Irish person doing a bad American accent playing an American doing a bad Northern Irish accent?
Whoa.
And I hate to have to mention this, partly because it's so fucking obvious, but epidemic of violence in Northern Ireland? How the fuck can you tell? You walk down the street and daily you can see people randomly biting each other. The guy hearing the tape checks outside and sees someone. He does what's expected by his countrymen and grabs the nearest knife and stabs them. If the tape told him they were zombies, then why stab them in the chest? If the tape didn't say they were zombies, then why stab them in the chest? Although, thinking about it, he might have just thought it was Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, hi, Mark. I have something for you.
You look great. You look a baby face.
Anyway, how is your sex life?
I think you should leave right now, Mark.
Why did you do this? You know better, right? Why? Why is this happening? Why? It's over. God, forgive me.
One thing I noticed when that guy kicks the guy who shot himself in the head's foot to see if he's dead is he looks a lot like Frank from Peter Jackson's Bad Taste. And looking like Frank from Bad Taste is more than enough to make him the hero. Across town, again, the two guys are much too busy to wonder why exactly they've a Pretty Woman poster. Why? Because they heard a gunshot!
I heard a gunshot? Yeah, I thought I heard something as well.
Oh no, someone's been shot in Northern Ireland! Next they'll comment with surprise that the climate is a bit damp, and the Mexican food is crap. The guys meet up with Frank from Bad Taste. Well, they knock him out and tie him up. Huh. No doubt they're enraged that if all the main cast of bad taste, their best friend had to look like the least cool one.
Barry for life, motherfuckers.
Shit, I don't know. I mean, the dead coming back to life? That's bloody stupid. Where have you ever heard of that before?
That was so terrible, I think you gave me cancer.
I tell you what, I've got an idea. Why don't I take the bike and head down to the police station? No. No way. It's too dangerous. You can't.
That's not a bad idea.
No.
Just a random thought, but if this place was evacuated, would everyone have left their cars by their houses? Zombie genocide, where bike riding is the manliest of activities. Zombie genocide, where people can't see zombies unless the script says they can. Zombie genocide, where 2 zombies on screen at once is an extravagance. Zombie genocide, where, fuck it. An action can be a guy rolling down a hill. The guy in blue makes a run for it. Unfortunately, he didn't realise that he's dealing with homing zombies.
Where the hell is he?
How the hell do I know? If you never let him go in the first place, he's probably dead.
Doc, you're talking shit as usual.
There's some heavy drama, as one of Frank's friends continues refusing to believe that there's zombies. As another one of their friends is dying from a bite. Of course, I'm wondering how a guy with a Day of the Dead poster in his room can be as ungenre savvy about zombies as this idiot is. It's definitely his house. He doesn't know what zombies are and he can't even wrap his mind around the concept. There is a difference between knowing what something is and not believing it's possible, and never having heard of something. And he's heard of zombies about as much as you've heard of the great Zarkul-Thor! And I probably made that up. So yeah, Northern Ireland, where apparently obsessive zombie movie fans don't know what zombies are. Anyway, the tension's so thick that someone presses the zoom button and fucks with the clock. The idiot heads off, leaving Frank alone with the soon-to-be zombie. He drives his bike, walks and yells for long minutes because fucking thrilling. Oh no! Someone left a prop hand out in the open. I hope no one is filming a low-budget horror movie nearby. They'll have to buy a new one. The camera floats for ages, the idiot's clothes glow for some reason, and he gets attacked. Quick, smack him with the wet end! Or just run off. That works too. Finally, the dying friend turns into a zombie and attacks Frank.
Quick, Frank! What would Derek do?
Oh, grab someone else's brain, put it into his skull and use a belt to hold it all together. Okay, don't do that. Is it just me, or does that zombie have about 1,000,000 chances to bite this guy right about now? So they talk about what they can do to get out. What with there being a zombie outside, very gently battering on the door and all. And at times like this in movies, I wonder why they don't just pull out their atomic neuralizers and blow the shit out of everything and everyone they can see. That's what I did when I was surrounded by zombies. But I suppose they could have been orphans. I probably should look into that. At the very least, grab one of the very many heavy items in the room and, oh yes, move the bathrobe. You don't want to get it damaged.
You do know that you could use that as a net, right?
Shit, he's not up here.
They make their way downstairs to get the gun, and this has to be one of the slowest moving zombie movies I have ever seen. They found a zombie outbreak, killed a few, and are now going to try and escape to safety. Most films get to this point about 20 minutes in, or at least long before the pointless crotch shots. The Walking Dead got to this point before the first ad break, and we're almost 2/3 of the way through the movie. And it's not like things start to speed up now. They manage to miss the gun, which really fucking obviously is on the stairs, and then they have to play cat and mouse with a single slow-moving Romero-style zombie in the house with them.
And to make things worse, they don't find him. He finds them.
Anyway, because of all his training with the Astral Investigations and Defense Service,
wish we'd changed that name.
Frank is able to stab the zombie with a pipe, which seems to impale him right onto the ground. Even though they stabbed him with a very short piece of pipe, the zombie is on concrete and the pipe's not gone through him. Anyway, the idiot finally finds the fucking gun.
We should check the television. Maybe some kind of broadcast or something on.
We'll check it.
There's something here.
Evacuation procedure?
I'm impressed their evacuation procedure has its own mood music, just in case people didn't realise it was serious. So the TV warns about heavy pile-ups in the streets. Because truly it's car-based mayhem out there. It's so bad that the living are envying the dead and ridiculous haircuts are back in fashion. I hear a dwarf and an aging pop star have set up something called Thunderdome on the edge of town. You know, guys, take a fucking car. I know the all-powerful evacuation thing said the roads were blocked, but take a look for yourself. They're clearly not. And if they get blocked later on, then get out later on. At the very least, you'll be doing part of the journey in an armoured box that moves a bit faster than your fucking bikes. And I'm sorry I have to mention this, but I'm fairly sure there's no Romero Avenue in Northern Ireland. Yes, that's it. Film them reading the whole thing. It's necessary for the audience to read every single word of it. Twice. Anyway, zipping forward a few minutes, zombies can open doors. Every other zombie movie in history has lied to you. Zombies can open doors. Hell, even this movie lied to you, because earlier on, and later on, they couldn't open doors. Is it just me, or are almost all the zombies just in different phases of tummy wiseau-ness? So they stab him in the head and chuck him out. The other zombies take this personally and decide to attack as en masse as they can afford, including this one that's skipping for some reason. With the zombies outside, they decide to stay in after all, because the last 5 minutes really don't need to counter anything. And then after 2 minutes of shots of the outside of what I assume is the house, we get 2 minutes of a fucking dream.
Roger, wake up! Oh, Roger! We're only having a dream.
I'm not sure what this is, but I think it's some leaves in front of the sun. Or the moon. Or a street light. Whatever it is, this shot lasts for 20 seconds. Then there's shots of zombies walking, and someone else on a fucking bike being eaten because, honestly, I'm thinking that one of the guys who made this owned a bike shop.
Listen, I know a way we can get out of here.
Please, tell me the house is a spaceship.
First thing we do is wait in the morning.
Sounds like a wonderful idea. Good night. Okay, let's see if something's actually happening. In case you wanted an encore, the evacuation procedure is back with a vengeance. Oh wow, it'd be nice if your broadcast played something loud and annoying just in case people slept through it. Because they kinda sleep through it. It's a slight design flaw with their broadcast. Or maybe this is just their plan to get rid of all the blind people for some reason that I'm really not sure I want to understand. Besides, you're going to nuke the town. The guy who owns this house is clearly a big fan of horror movies, and whether he remembers he knows what zombies are or not, he'll have seen Return of the Living Dead and should know exactly what will happen if they nuke the town. And in case you haven't seen it, what will happen won't be good. It led to some lackluster sequels. And while his main issue will be that he didn't get to see any hot punk girls doing striptease in a graveyard, he'll also want to warn everyone before they fucking nuke this place and make the problem several hundred times worse. So yeah, a bit rambly, but don't nuke the place. It's stupid. And you'd realise how stupid it was, Northern Irish government, if you had any horror fans in your staff. Though preferably horror fans who remember what zombies are. Avon calling with Mormons. I trust this completely. Oh no! How could I have fallen for this? I can't believe they fell for that. So what exactly happened here? Well, either one of the guys heard the zombies at the door, thought they were people and opened up, or there's a third person in the house that we've not seen yet who doesn't know about the zombies, or I suppose it could be someone from the film crew that opened the door. In short, I have no fucking idea what just happened, or why. And since the director's commentary would depend on someone actually releasing this on DVD, we're likely never going to find out what exactly the fuck happened here. And in exactly what way was it incredibly stupid. Holy shit, a stab to the neck and the face don't add up to a stab to the head? I actually have to stab the head? That's not fair! So at this point I'm wondering if the plan Frank mentioned waiting till morning was, let the fucking zombies in and then only not die because they're both main characters. If so, bad plan. And running in a Northern Irish zombie movie. I'm feeling nostalgic. Because Because, unlike the cast of Battle of the Bone, these guys actually, get tired sometimes. They slow down and spot that a zombie in the middle of a field has a gun. How does a single zombie end up in a field without an obvious way in? Must be an unobvious way in. Like pole vaulting. They shoot the zombie. Frank goes for the gun and gets eaten because an idiot who can't shoot, an idiot who earlier thought a zombie's head was its fucking neck, managed to miss the zombie's fucking head. Amazing. The survivor makes it to the evacuation point, located in the 60s idea of what the future would look like, only to find it deserted. No doubt the apes are to blame. With a friendly-looking sign posted telling me he's about to be nuked. And so rather than die in the same way as 47% of the Northern Irish population, via explosives, he chooses to shoot himself in the head. And so die the way the other 53% die. Waiting until a minute before a nuclear weapon's gonna land on everyone's head before revealing that you've cancelled it? Did you want everyone to commit suicide? Is this some sort of bizarre scheme to do with population control? Because let me tell you, there's easier ways to do that. That was Zombie Genocide. Yeah, it's far from brilliant, but for the most part it didn't make the same mistakes as Battle of the Bone or the Knackery. Instead, it made very different ones. It's short, only an hour long, and I'm glad that it is. Even at that length, it felt very, very padded. Overall, its problems are pretty fucking obvious, but it was made by amateurs with literally no budget, and I'm willing to forgive it a lot of sins. More than I was willing to forgive Battle of the Bone and the Knackery, anyway. Unlike those two films, which frankly felt like they were just randomly set in Northern Ireland, the characters in this actually felt like people from Northern Ireland. It has the air of weird realism you get when your cast is mostly made up of people who aren't actually acting. And really can't act. So they're just ad-libbing around a very broad script. The directing in general, and especially some of the shot choices, had little flourishes of quality. Not great, but better than the majority of the movie, and much, much, much better than a lot of low-budget films. I think it's a real pity that Northern Ireland's not given the world a great, or even a good zombie movie, because if you think about it, the genre is a perfect fucking fit. Especially for a period film set in the 70s. Much of Northern Ireland's modern iconic images are of the military, barricades, people with guns, and groups marching en masse. This is perfect for a zombie movie. Just imagine this. It's Northern Ireland in the 70s. Tensions are extremely fucking high. There is a march. Then the police/military/terrorists or the anti-march gun-owning club of Newry fire into the throng of people. Most people run away, and seconds later the dead get back up again. The best zombie movies usually have a bunch of social subtext, and there's a hell of a lot that can be mined in Northern Ireland. Now please, someone do it. I'm N.Ireland Hagan, and I have to live with that every day.
Cybernetic minions. Whatever will I think of next? Activate them. Activate them now.
The roughest, meanest pack of bikers to come down the road since the boys in the band.
What in the hell is this?
It's a maiden form, and it's mine.
Give it to me.
Packets. Behind the denims and black leather jackets. Sugar and spice and everything nice.
I see America, she's just around the bend. The Star-Spangled Banner.
You know, Arnie, I never knew my dad.
For heaven's sakes, how come?
He was always in drag.
Don't miss The Pink Angels, hard riders wearing a size 10 dress.